Hi kids, I hope you guys are doing well. I am in southwestern Scotland, on kind of close to the border of Scotland and England, and it is raining and not too much different from what it's like usually in autumn time at home. And so I am at a castle in ruins, and it's an old one, but it's a good one, and it's got quite a story. So I'd like to share some things with you today. So here you go. So it was explained to me there is a very famous river, the River Nith, and it runs this direction. And so if somebody was going to try to come at the castle from this direction, they'd have to contend with the river. Behind the castle is actually quicksand, and this direction is peat bogs, which are like swamps. So the only way they could come at the castle is here. So that's why it's so narrow on this side. Interesting to the geography. By the way, when they make a moat, when they dig out the dirt, they make these hills. This is a castle, Caerlaverock. Caerlaverock. I'll spell it for you on the screen. Anyways, it's pretty neat. It has quite the history. It is from, I'll look up the exact dates for you and I'll put that up for you. But it has a moat. Look at that, it has a moat. And this used to be, kind of your drawbridge. And here's its front. It is uniquely shaped. It has these two towers in the front, and then it is really long on the sides. It branches out that direction, and it branches out this direction, and it is kind of in a triangular shape, and it opened up really wide in the back, which I'll show you in a little bit. But this is really, despite its age, and all of the battle took part here in the front, but you don't see the battle issues up here in the front because all of the battle took up on top of it, because they used trebuchets and cannonballs, and that's how they sieged the castle. And just a lot of time. It took a long battle. Anyways, they and I am standing in a castle, and I'm on the second story of this castle. It is in ruins. It's not a full castle, but it is very, very old, and but it's still pretty much standing. And here is my view. Let me turn my camera around. Here's one of the castle towers. You know how in castles there's like lots of stories about like the big dinners and things like that they'd have, and like the big hallways and stuff? I'm standing in the grand hallway, or the Lord's Hall, and there's the fireplace. There's, I think that's like ovens. I'm not quite sure. And there's a giant window. And above me, these all used to be floors. So there's no longer floors around because they have all deteriorated because they were wood. And all of these little things above me that you see, those were what they would build the floors. So there was a floor here, there was a floor there, there was a floor there, but they're not there anymore. This castle, I'm standing on the second floor, but there's the third floor, the fourth floor, and there was actually used to be more, but it no longer has a roof because the roof was destroyed in a big battle. See how the stone is like that thick right there, but it's so worn down. It makes kind of like these divots. They've been walked on that long. And this is the section, look at that window, isn't that huge? So using trebuchets and giant cannonballs, they destroyed the entire backside of the castle. So this entire section back here, this is an interior, and I just came down these stairs from the second, and there's part of it. Castles had an interior side of them. So like on the outside, on the interior, there was an open space. It was called the bailey. So this is the bailey area. It would be there would not be a roof above it. So this would be a wall of that. And then they're doing some construction work. Well, not construction, but there's some issues with the masonry. So they're doing kind of like stabilizing that walls and stuff. And you can see here where there was some windows and stuff, and they have bricked them up so that way people can't go in and like fall out of them. So that's a restricted area that we can't go in. But during the battle, this whole back side of the castle got destroyed. So it's no longer has a wall. And this is the section, look at that window, isn't that huge? So using trebuchets and giant cannonballs, they destroyed the entire backside of the castle. So this entire section back here, this is an interior, and I just came down these stairs from the second, and there's part of it. That bailey floor that I showed you, I'm now standing on the ground on it. And so here is the wall. I was standing up in these windows here. And so the facade of the house face of the castle that I was in was up there. And so here is the front part of the castle that I will show you from looking at the front of it. Yeah, it's this castle. There's still little remnants and stuff that you can see, just pieces of the stonework on it, and there's different pieces and things that you can see from the crests of the time that they were of the different families' crests and seals and things of the people who own the castle. But during the time of the siege in the 1500s and 1600s that this castle was owned, England and Scotland were two different places, different places. Well, the King of England wanted well, he was taking over Scotland. And so that's when the battle happened and so they, we are pretty much close to the border between Scotland and England. And so it was during this battle that the Scottish people lost the battle, and big, huge trebuchets, which are kind of like slingshots, big giant machines, big giant boulders, and basically they completely took out the roof of the castle and took out lots of the things. So but the whole front section and the house part, a lot of it's still standing. So we're able to be here.